welcome to my outdoor studio. As you can probably hear, there's a lovely breeze this morning, thank goodness. I'm going to be taking you through the neck and shoulders exercises that we do variations of at the start of every class. So it's really important for two reasons. One is to ease out any tension you're holding. Most of us hold tension in our neck and across the shoulders, just to avoid any injury throughout the class. Also to relax and kind of get into the moment. So we always start with some breathing meditation or some breath awareness, and it really is an extension of that. So having that repetition of the same things at the beginning of each class just helps us feel a little more comfortable. We kind of know what to expect, and it can help us really kind of let go of everything around us and know that we're kind of present into what we're doing now. So there's a few different reasons we do things in that certain order, physical and for our heads as well, just as important, if not more. There's another conversation. So I'm going to take you through the neck and shoulder exercises. I'm breaking it down, so it's a bit of an instructional video. And then if you would like to just do the practice, I will put in the notes whereabouts to just do the practice at the end, and you can just play that as a talk through for you in the mornings or evenings or whenever you would like to do it. So to begin with, find a comfortable sitting position. Now it's definitely worth finding a rolled up blanket or a cushion just to pop under your sit bones so your pelvis tilts forward a little. You're trying to avoid this, and by just popping, whether it's the blanket or a block or something, rolled up towel underneath, it tilts your pelvis forward and helps you strengthen up through the center. So not just for your posture, but also look what happens to your chest where you're breathing. So if you're sat like this, or with your legs up and your shoulders forward, you're constricting your chest, so you're not able to breathe as fully. So remember, part of this is not just about easing out in the movement, it's about relaxing and opening everything up as well. So that tilt forward at the base of the spine actually then helps you stack everything up and bring the shoulders back. And that is why also I remind you to rest your hands kind of on the legs outwards here rather than in here. Stop the shoulders rolling forward, so you won't get as much out of the movement, but also you won't be breathing as fully. So lifting up tall from the base of the spine, shoulders relaxed. If cross-legged isn't working for you, stretch your legs out, bring the arms down to the side, lean against a wall, maybe have an even bigger cushion so you can kind of sit right into it and it gives you lots of support. It's definitely not about having your legs kind of crossed or at this angle. It's all about your lower back and this part of your body. So shoulders nice and soft, head still and centered. Take some nice slow smooth breaths in and out through your nose. Breathe in and out through the nose. It helps you slow your breath down. So if you're a runner or doing lots of cardio work, you'll often be breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, because you're trying to get the carbon dioxide out faster. You're kind of getting that faster rhythm. We're doing the opposite. We want everything to be slow and we want the out breath to be long and controlled, and doing it through the nose just helps you do that. Of course, if that's not comfortable, if you're a bit congested, you just breathe comfortably. So bring your attention to your posture, draw the tailbone under, lengthen up through, relax the shoulders, think about opening the chest. Now as we turn the head to the right, you're bringing the chin around as far as you comfortably can. So you're looking for a twist through the neck. So this is about easing into the top of the spine, but you're also working these muscles around here, right round through to the jaw. So if you get to here and there's not really anything going on, as you exhale, just gently ease again. So it's not about bouncing, pushing or straining. It's about feeling some work through the muscles. Now if your head is down here as you do this, you'll be getting stretches up through the back of the neck down into this shoulder. If you bring your head up here, again, you'll get completely different sort of stretches. And if you draw the chin in, then hopefully you'll be working the stretches around the midsection of the neck. And slowly back to center. So we move with the in and the out breath for two reasons. Your out breath softens your muscles. It literally sends a message to your muscles to release and relax. So physically, it's a good thing to get that movement and ease into stretches with the out breath, but also it's an extension of that mindful breathing at the beginning. So we work that depending on the class, whether you're in an hour class or an hour and a half. We might just do that once or twice or maybe even 3 times. So for the next movement, it really helps to think about the way that your head sits on the top of your neck. So if this is your spine, top of your spine, you've then got the base of your skull is kind of like a curve, so it kind of sits in like this, and your head can move forward, sideways, and of course everything in between. It pivots on the top. So we've just worked that twist, turning the head to the side, and now we're working this movement. So quite often when you sit up facing forward, when I say bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder, one of two things will happen. One is your brain will think, I've got to get my ear to the right shoulder so this right shoulder comes up, which isn't going to do you any harm, but what you're missing out on is a good stretch here, and also you're tensing and bringing tension back into this shoulder. So just be mindful of that. Also, I see this happen, so the head twists, so you're looking up over there or down like this. Again, you're not going to do yourself any harm. You're just missing out on the full stretch down here. So think about the muscles that come around the jaw, up behind the ear, down this side of the neck. So this area particularly, you'll know if you drive a lot, sat at a desk, actually for most of us, this part here is always the bit you kind of want someone to give a good squeeze. This is your neck and shoulder massage. So if you haven't got someone there to do it for you, this is part of doing it for yourself. So face stays forward, and it's literally this motion. So there's no twist to the head at all, and the head comes down, and you might just get to here, and this might feel super tight. That's okay. So you're just going to rest there. So you're not bouncing, you're not holding it, you're just letting the weight of the head do the work. And very gradually, it may not be in that class, but as you keep repeating this, if you can do it daily, even better, you'll feel that gradually this will start to loosen and your head will come over just a little further. If your chin, you need to bring your chin in a little, that will change the stretches down the back of the neck here, and then slowly back to center. So if you're not sure, a really good thing to do is to do this in a mirror, because often you won't realize. So I might give prompts in class if I happen to notice that a few people are sort of at different angles, and I just know for sure, because I've had this done to me by my teacher as well, that you'll be convinced you're moving in a certain way, and then suddenly you have a mirror put in front of you and you're like, oh, I didn't realize I held this shoulder up a little higher than this one. So this isn't about being picky, it's not about being critical with your body, it's not about being perfect and getting it exactly right, it's about getting the best stretch for you. So it's just being aware. So if you look in the mirror and you find that one side is slightly higher than the other, I certainly did when I used to work in an office and do a lot of driving and flying, but it's just being aware of that. So gradually throughout the day you can start to loosen it and just become aware over time. So there are the first two movements we do in the neck and the shoulders. Then we work on dropping the head back. So this one has a strong warning, which I always make sure you're aware of in class. This is not a position we're used to doing very often now. So back in Neanderthal times, we were looking up, we were hunting, we were very aware, we were using our muscles and our bodies in such a different way. We rarely need to look up, certainly not for an extended period of time. So lengthening and stretching here opens up the throat, opens up the chest. If you can let go of the shoulders as you do it, you're again helping yourself breathe more fully. As we tip our head back, if you're able to get all the way back, and this took me a long time to be able to do, I used to feel as I dropped my head back that I almost had two golf balls here. It was like two solid kind of lumps, and it kind of felt strange as I was getting there, and gradually over months, literally months, they just went. And now the back of my head just rests on the very top of my back, and my shoulders are low, and it's like almost like a hinge, just hinging back. So it's literally resting. I'm not holding anything, I'm just completely relaxed, and it's really lovely. But when you come up, you need to come up nice and slow, because obviously this part of your body is lifting the whole of the weight of your head. Now we have our thyroid gland here, which regulates our hormones, and we have our parathyroids here in the back of the neck. And they regulate, for one thing, they regulate the amount of calcium that's released through your body. So in terms of helping your body be operate in a more functional, more optimum way, being able to get back there and massage not just releases tension, but also massaging the parathyroid glands as well. So evidence has shown that being able to kind of do this will help release more calcium through into your body. So yeah, feel free to do a bit more research into that. I'm not saying it's going to cure osteoporosis, but it's all about kind of getting that blood flow and getting things moving and unclenched. So that one is one to do over time. So if you're here and you're like, oh, I can't get back any further, that's okay. You need to let this one go nice and slowly. So we balance everything out, forward, backward, left, right. So we've gone back, so then we'll lengthen up through the neck again, check in, because this has probably happened at some point. So you just lift up a little taller again, and then we're bringing the chin down. So in some classes we'll just draw the chin down, easing it into the chest. Very often this will happen, the shoulders will come over as our brain's saying, got to get my chin down as far as possible. Keep the lift. It's just the neck you're working on. These shoulders are staying nice and low, your back's nice and straight, you're just drawing the chin down. Often we'll interlace fingers and bring the hands to the flat of the back of the neck, draw the chin down again, and all this does, as we ease the elbows in, is gives us a slightly stronger stretch down the neck, and you may start to feel it down into the shoulders. If you do this, again, you're just missing out on lengthening and stretching through the neck. So I'd much rather see you kind of here, if that's as far as you can get with a lovely lifted back, shoulders soft, than down here kind of leaning over, trying to get your head to the floor. It's not about your back, it's about the neck and the shoulders. When we're down with chin down, elbows in, we will sometimes, usually in the longer classes, roll the head to the left and the right. So you very slightly roll to the right. So there's not a turn, there's no lift to the shoulders. The chin stays in, the elbows and shoulders stay where they are, and you literally turn the head about an inch to the right, and you'll feel it only needs to be a small way, some changes in the stretches down here, and then you come back to centre, and then we work the other side. And I should say as well, when the head is back, we sometimes, depending on the class, with the head back do the same thing. So just a gentle roll to the right, back to centre, and then to the left, and back to centre. Really small movements, so I'll often kind of give you an idea. So I say like your nose moves across about an inch, so it really is tiny movements, but once your head's kind of back and softened, your neck softened rather, you'll feel the changes in the stretches. So again, all of these movements are meant to be very mindful, so they're about really focusing. So it's not about kind of getting through them. If you find yourself drifting off and thinking about other things, really try to bring yourself back to the sensation. What are you feeling? Notice, are there bits tense? So even though you're working on the shoulders, has your back collapsed? So it's finding that place where you can be aware and completely present to how your body's feeling and what's going on there, without beating yourself up trying to get it right. And that's a really tough place to find, but when you do, it's really rewarding, so keep going at it. That's the neck. Now the shoulders. So same things, lift up tall as always, change position if you need to, shuffle around. So this is keeping head and neck completely still and centered, just working on the shoulders now. So we always try and exhale to begin with, just softening, arms are nice and loose. We come up on the in-breath, so we're gathering that tension with the shoulders coming up. So although it looks like I'm holding my arms out, it's just kind of the way my arms go. So it's a little bit different for everybody. So you're only moving the shoulders. It's like someone has pinched or kind of like tied something onto the top of your shoulders and they're lifting them up with string. Arms are doing absolutely nothing. So when my shoulders are up, there's no tension there at all. So if you find you're kind of holding the arms up, see if you can really let them go. Work from the shoulders and you'll get so much more out of these shoulder exercises. So they come up. We work depending, as I say, on the length of the class. We might just come up once or twice, or we might come up and hold a little bit longer. And we exhale down, releasing tension. If you like to visualize, and you can kind of imagine as you breathe in, gathering all that tension up into a tight ball, and as you breathe out, imagine it running off the shoulders or maybe down through the arms and the fingers, away into the earth, whatever works for you. So we'll work up and we'll go down, and then we work the forward and backward rolls. So as you breathe in, the shoulders come up, then you push just the shoulders forward. So think about that movement that the shoulders have. So you're trying to get a stretch across the back. And if you're super tight, you may only move a little way, but also be mindful if you know you're quite flexible. So there's a lot of people come to these classes who are kind of hypermobile in places. So you don't want to overstretch either. So you come up, you push the shoulders forward, and then you roll them down. You come up, you push the shoulders back. So again, although my arms start to move, you can see my elbows move, I'm not moving from my arms, it's just where my muscles are connected. You move up, it's the shoulders that are doing the work, and then they come down. When we come up for the holds, we push the shoulders up, draw them forward, and then stretch the arms out. And you might find you end up rolling forward, so again, bring yourself up nice and straight through the back. And you're looking for a stretch across here, down the backs of the arms, right down through the fingers. So quite a nice stretch here, and as you exhale, you let go nice and gently. As you breathe in, you come up, push the shoulders back. This is quite a tricky one for some people. So it's not about bringing the arms behind you. As soon as you do that, if you see the muscles completely change. So now it's my arms that are engaging, and my shoulders haven't actually moved that far. If I put my shoulders back first, squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the chest out, so you're opening across the chest. Arms is just staying completely loose. So from the front, it looks a bit like I'm kind of almost bringing the elbows together. So you're kind of lifting up from the shoulders, drawing the elbows closer together. But again, if you got hold of my arms and waggled them about, there's no tension here at all. So my hands aren't together, I'm not using my arms at all, it's all from the shoulders. You're squeezing the shoulder blades together, almost like you're imagining holding like a pencil or something between the shoulder blades. You gather there, open up the chest, and as you exhale, let it all go. So if you're doing that from this angle, again, you're not going to do yourself any harm, you just won't get that lovely, I've just been massaged feeling, which is kind of what we're after. Okay, so hopefully that has given you a few tips, a few things to think about during the neck and shoulders. As I said at the beginning, this isn't about being perfect, getting everything right. It's about finding that place in between where you get the most out of it for your body, but you're also able to enjoy it and switch off with your mind as well. So take all this as advice, things to be aware of, not instructions that absolutely have to be followed to the T. I'll always give you guidance, that's the word, isn't it, that keeps you safe, that helps you get the most out of things, but I'm not going to correct every tiny little thing, because you need to be able to switch off and enjoy and let your head rest as well, and not be concerned about getting it absolutely right. Enjoy. Namaste.